There are a lot of fiscal issues to tackle right now. And here with a first-hand account of what was accomplished at the dinner is Senator Pat Toomey. Welcome to the show. Tell me, what was the tone like at the dinner?
Well, the tone was very cordial. We had a wide-ranging conversation. It was candid, and there was a wide range of views, but certainly it was very cordial and cooperative.
So what do you mean it was candid?
Well, there's areas in which we have pretty strong disagreements. I'd say both sides have been disappointed by the other side in different ways. Some of those things came out not in a harsh or way, but a candid way.
Do you think it was a photo op or, something to give people the impression that maybe there was a coming together? Was there a legitimate exchange of ideas? I mean, how much progress? Yeah, how would you characterize it?
Yeah, let me be clear. This was never an attempt to strike a deal or to really even begin negotiating a deal, but rather it was more an opportunity to sort of exchange views, sort of test to see if the other side really wants to make some progress. I will say the president said a lot of encouraging things, and the question will be, does he follow through? Does he provide the leadership that we need? Does he bring Democrats from the Senate to the table to be willing to actually tackle the spending problems that we have? I think it's a good first step. It's only a first step. It's a small step, but
what did he say that was encouraging?
He talked about his own personal willingness to make some tough calls and to part ways with some of the folks on his side to get spending under control over the long term, and recognize the validity of some of the things that we were saying. So look, I don't want to get too carried away here. I'm not suggesting that we were all holding hands singing Kumbaya. I wasn't quite there, but at least it was a first step.
We talk to business leaders and CEOs on this show all the time, and they say that what they read from the dialogue going back and forth from everyone in Washington is that no one's trying to make a deal, that everybody's trying to make their point, that if you were really a CEO out there negotiating on a deal, you would be the language would be different. Right. Did you get the sense last night that that either side really wants to make a deal?
Well, I know for a fact that our side wants to make a deal, in a deal that will get this economy moving again, reform our tax code, get us on a sustainable spending path. And as I said, the president said all the right things last night, and I agree.
So you feel like he wants to make a deal based on what he said last night? You feel more hopeful?
I would say that his message last night was very constructive and was encouraging. Now the important question is the follow-through. Is there follow-through? Does it include the Senate Democrats? Because obviously nothing can pass unless Senate Democrats are on board. At least many of them need to be on board. So I think time is the only proof as to how this all turns out. But I thought last night was a constructive beginning.
You guys met at the Jefferson Hotel. I was curious about why that was the location. Is that like a neutral site? Is that...
Well, as you know, the sequester has kicked in, so I imagine they had to lay off all of the chefs at the White House. I don't know why it was the Jefferson. That was the choice.
Okay. So in your mind, what is the next step from here? What should we look out for?
Well, I think we've got to, continue the discussion, but get a little more specific and concrete with some of our Democratic Senate colleagues. I sit on the Finance Committee. That's the committee that has jurisdiction over the entitlement programs and the tax code. If we're going to get something done through the Senate that includes, these are the giant challenges before us, it's probably going to involve our committee. And so I'm going to be meeting with every single Democrat on the committee to see how serious is the interest here, and is the president providing the encouragement and the support that's going to be needed. If there's a will, then I want to solve these problems. I want to get this economy moving again. If we get our act together here, I think we could have strong growth once again. So I'm going to give it my best shot.
All right, Senator Toomey, thanks so much for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
So it is